full force tonight.
Yes, we are. We have everyone here. So, Monday, December 11th, meeting of the Ayer Board of Health. I will call to order. It is 5:30. I'm going to call it 5:33. I think. Yeah, I know. Who knows?
Okay, 5:30.
By that clock, it's 5:30.
And on our phone, it's 5:33.
Okay, that's good. So, the clock is finally kind of in sync with the rest of the world. Public input looks a little thin tonight.
I would like a set of minutes because I never received them. This is what I got in the packet.
I don't have them for the last
have them
time.
done yet, right?
I've been buried, and I've been buried with getting all the stuff out for the licensing or the.
Well, I just thought it was you missed putting them in because
and I know
it says review a minute. Okay.
And I've had some administrative stuff that I've had to attend down here that's cut into my time, so I apologize for that. I will get the minutes out
I just
the next
want
time.
to.
Yeah, she had put in the email that she hoped she was going to keep it on here.
I just thought that they didn't get put in, so that will be in January.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it'll be next year, man.
Yeah.
Next year.
Next year. Yeah, I'll be back from South Carolina. I'll have a new attitude.
Yes.
Do we have anything from Bridget?
She didn't leave
About
me anything.
Anything? I have not heard anything.
I did get
Minnesota.
one complaint, and I sent it over to her, and I called the guy back. And
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So I referred it to her, and I haven't heard anything.
And there's nothing in here, right?
No.
So with regards to that, of course, because of the fact that that I'm old, and I have, although I like Peter Lucas's statement in the paper, he said, "You're not old; you are a veteran of life."
Oh, I like that.
I like that term.
I might use that.
I like that term. So as a veteran of life, my old back injury has popped up. So I have not been out as much, but in fact I missed 2 selectmen's meetings, which necessitated many people in town calling me up and saying, "Oh my God, what's the matter? You weren't in your regular chair when I turned on." See, when you're a creature of habit. And I know that they do have Nasoya on for every meeting, and I believe that I was told at their last meeting they were here again talking about what they were doing going forward, etc. And I think, and they were, didn't you get a copy? We were supposed to get that copy, Jane. Remember at the last meeting I brought it up, and you said we would get the copy from them. It was their plan that they had submitted going forward. It was the one they submitted right before Thanksgiving.
Right, because there was a cutoff date. It was like the day before or something.
And I think actually some of their stuff won't be finished until the spring, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. Right. This is
That was the day before Thanksgiving. If any odors were reported after that, from that day forward, they would be fined. Is that?
Well, I think they had already been fined some. That's what I understood from the meeting when you and I were both here that night, and Roscata was here.
Yeah.
I think they had already been.
Then I'm wondering what was the significance of the 23rd,
Well,
the day before Thanksgiving.
that was finally and this is all being handled now through Mary, what's her name? Mary Alice Pigsley. She's the, what is she? The regional director of Mass DEP.
Yeah. That was, if I remember correctly, I did not take good notes. That was the letter. There was a letter from DEP, I believe, to, I don't know if any of you have it in your notes, to Nasoya, and it was Sawyer had to do something.
Yeah, by
They submit
11/24,
that
deadline
report.
and response.
So that would have been then the plan that they,
Yeah.
the response going forward. And I think what I was told from the last, in fact, I believe I asked Robert when we were at Capital Plan, and he said that they have been at the meeting, they more or less showed the same thing again as to what they were doing.
Yeah.
And I don't believe, well, now it's getting colder too, so.
Yeah,
But I
that
think
helps.
it probably, if I remember from that, and you might remember, Trish, that March or April comes to mind to me before every final
Mhm.
machinery
Right,
will
before
be
the
in.
whole plan
Yeah,
is
the whole
complete.
thing.
Yeah. Spring,
Yeah.
definitely,
Yeah.
but I don't have a date in my head.
Well, I have, in my minutes, to include Jen Benson's letter in, when I filed the minutes. So I
Yeah.
to include Jen Benson's letter. And you said, Pam, verbatim, I think it's good to get as many eyes as possible on this. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
All right, so, but Nasoya had to file the day before Thanksgiving.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
And then I have asked Bridget Carley, Nasoya's response to DPW. Look for whatever went into the DPW file. Keep Nasoya on agenda. So that's what I have in my notes, if that helps at all.
Same.
And I don't, of course I have the hard copy of all this upstairs, but that's what I have as far as I know.
I'll email Bridget.
Yeah, I think we're probably all pretty much on the same page with that. And I know, of course, she said, and even Jim said, and Ira said, there isn't anyone that works for Neshoba Board of Health that hasn't driven down and just said,
Oh, yeah.
you know what, I think I'll go in and I'll go by so I can go over and see if
Yeah.
there is anything with, Nasoya, so.
Yeah.
And the last time I spoke to Bridget, which was only briefly, and that was a few weeks ago, and I think she had only one complaint.
It seems to go down a bit in the winter, and it's probably a combination of people aren't outside as much,
And I know for the
it's
people that
cold.
live over
Yeah.
there, it's a problem, but it's not like they're ignoring it. They have tried a lot of different things.
yes, and DEP and
Yeah.
the mass reps
And they have, they've spent a lot of money. And they don't intend to just throw up their hands and say, you know what, this is too much. We'll just,
yeah. I know it's
go
difficult for
home.
residents though, because I can see where if you live there,
Oh, I
you
can
feel
no,
like you're
I can
getting the
understand
same-
that.
Same thing.
but I think they made it perfectly clear when, remember one of the selectmen was saying, well, maybe we'll just close you down. And he said, we've spent, what was it, $11 million,
Mhm.
and we have no intention of moving
Yeah.
out of here. We intend to solve this problem.
Yeah.
And, I take him at his word because actually that is a lot of money, and it might be just easier for them to say, hey, we got a place out on the West Coast and we'll just
Oh, yeah.
stay there.
Well, they've got a lot of infrastructure investment.
Yes.
over there, a lot.
Yes, so, we'll just go along and see what happens. I think, like I said, they are working on it, so.
Yeah, but I am glad that Selectmen and DEP are on it as well, though, because at some point, they've got to get this thing solved, or somebody does have to take some more stringent, should we say, action.
Yes.
Against them, because you can't go on
Well-
forever with fixing it.
And I think the point was brought up, okay, you're bringing in this machinery and you're working on it, but it's your responsibility to train your
Mhm.
staff.
Yeah.
It's not acceptable to have someone there in the evening that doesn't know
Yeah.
what they're doing.
Yeah.
You need to do in-house training, and I think they stressed
Yeah,
that
they
2
were
or 3
stressing
times that
Yeah.
night.
Because there was a question of human error and so.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Not all of it, but.
Something to do
Right.
too with the trucks when they
Yeah.
were taking
Yeah.
stuff out. Yes, yeah. So
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't offer this as an excuse, but it has often occurred to me, and I think of it every time I see that commercial about have you gone nose blind, you know, where it's like an odor and you just don't notice it anymore. I think it's like a Febreze commercial or something. And they always pop into my head when I think of that is working there with this stuff all the time.
Oh, yeah.
I bet you do become, to a certain degree, desensitized
This takes you 10 minutes.
to the odor. So you would have to.
well, you know, it's just like years ago, somebody would come to visit in a hospital and say, "Oh my God, I can't stay here. I can't stand the odor."
Oh, right,
Mary,
yeah.
how can
Yeah.
you work here every day? What do you mean?
Yeah, but what odor? Right.
But there
I
are
know.
people that literally would come to visit someone, be there.
True.
One day I looked and I grabbed a guy that looked like he was just about to go like this on the floor, and I threw him in a chair and got him some water, and he says, "Oh, I think I better get out of here. This is too much for me." Yeah.
It's bad.
Well,
Yeah.
but a lot of people,
Yeah.
yeah, well, the weaker sex.
The weaker sex. Maybe that's the problem.
Oh, God.
Okay, so that's the story then on Nasoya for now. End of year wrap up. I'm assuming a lot of the things in this to sign might have to do with permits and
Yeah,
that
almost
sort of
all of
thing,
it.
right?
Yeah, a lot.
Okay.
I think the only other thing that needs to be signed in there is the bill from the radio station.
Yeah, okay. So are we, what's kind of the just lay of the land then? with
We're doing
tobacco
good. We're
and-
doing good. We're
Good.
about half
Okay,
with both.
okay,
So, you know,
Yeah.
that's about average. And, yeah.
okay. All right, that's good.
Yeah.
Okay, anything else on end of year wrap up that you ladies have on your mind or?
Well, if Bridget didn't leave anything, then she must have been out of the office or something, because generally she leaves some
Well, I
little thing.
Do have some things that it looks like they have gone through Bridget for,
Those are, yeah.
yeah,
Former-
like a
those
ZBA thing
Yeah,
and.
Oh,
those
no,
are
no.
just
and stuff.
transfers.
Well,
So
let's
that's all I have. I
But
don't
that's
have
all I
any-
have.
remember, and I think I brought it up at the last meeting because sometimes somebody will complain about one thing, which we had something in my area.
Mhm,
You know, a
yeah.
lady had gone over to the Neshoba Board of Health on Central Avenue, and it was funny because in coming up to check that property, Bridget saw something else in the other
Yeah.
side. In fact, it was, she said, "Oh, I must have got the number wrong." So she, texted Annette to say, "What number did you give me?"
Mm.
So that particular property is being cleaned.
Okay,
It may, and that's probably why she hasn't put anything in there yet.
yeah,
for
could
you.
be, yeah.
It's not let's say she did give 30 days, I think it would be another 30, maybe more, there's so much. But it is
Yeah.
being worked on.
Okay, so
So-
it's an active
So,
project.
yeah, so
Okay.
when she sees that people are making
Yeah.
an effort there,
Yeah, she's very fair.
now here's something else that came up. Remember when we had the episode with someone had complained about rats and they had chickens and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, and that all disappeared. That was fine. Well, people sometimes don't get a full report on something and they think, oh my gosh, there's rats out there. How can I put my little grandchild outside?
Yeah.
Well, the fact is that rats really are nocturnal animals, and they'll come out at night for something. But I think the person thought, oh my God, there's rats running around the neighborhood. I can't leave my grandchild out there. So, now we've got snow, so it's a little different. But I think, too, that environmental people try to tell everyone, don't leave water outside. Don't put food out there. No, it isn't just the birds that come. It's everything else. And I think we've seen more critters out there this year than ever before.
Well, it was very warm for so long. So maybe with this cold snap and the snow, some of them will and hibernate.
When I had a garden, I never saw woodchucks. I saw woodchucks this year that were huge. I saw raccoons and everything during the day. So, now thank God, for one, that's the one good thing with the snow, that it is not that kind of stuff. That's the only thing about it. But
I have a family of morbidly obese woodchucks.
We had some too.
But
it's like this, what do they call it? The food chain has been disrupted. I don't know why, but we had tons of chipmunks, more rodents than anything else. So something's not.
Maybe the hawks
they're not doing their job.
Because the hawks eat a lot of them, and so do the coyotes. So maybe something's happening.
Well, and feral cats too, because in our neighborhood, the feral cat population, kind of fluctuates up and down. Now that my mom's been gone 18 years, I think she was feeding all the multi-generational family of cats she was feeding, and so that is important to keep in mind for even people just watching at home, that I know you're trying to be kind, and God knows I'm the biggest animal lover, but if you feed feral cats, their population expands and contracts in sync with the food supply. So you're actually doing them more of a kindness not to feed them, because then you have fewer feral cats. But now that our feral cats are going down, I see chipmunks again. I haven't seen them in years.
Lots of
them. A lot. So no, I'm not aware of any place in town that has a active rat problem where you would have to worry about.
No.
Rats.
Well,
doesn't mean we don't have rats.
That all came from somebody heard that they know what it came from, and like I said, sometimes people need to call us up and get the full story before somebody saw this on Facebook. Oh my gosh, what's going on? Call us up, we'll tell you what's going on.
Half the story is worse than no story.
Oh my goodness, yes.
But that is a perfect segue, because the only thing I have for kind of end of year stuff is in keeping with the PFOA, and I tried to scan what I have. I'm going to ask Robert to just send me, or Bob, to just send me a new one, because either there's something wrong with my scanner, or
I'll be happy
I'm
to
not
scan.
getting a good image when I scan the printing copy. But he should have the whole file that he can just email to you. Because the deal was, I have the hard copy of everything, but then there was a page that I wrote
we'll just
all
have him send
I
the
will,
electronic copy, and I'll make sure that it gets up on our website.
Okay, that's perfect, because the reason I'm heading down this path is a fellow down on Mountain Laurel Road. And let me see, Jane, did you just get CC'd maybe? Yeah, get CC'd to me. Sent an email to Mike Wetzel, and he was asking for an update on the PFOA and PFOS issue coming out of Grove Pond Wells. I didn't see anything on the town website indicating anything being done besides testing. Is the water safe to drink? have we stopped the use of water from well number 8 or all of Grove Pond wells?
Wouldn't have
Any
enough
current
water for the-
information would be appreciated. He says he's buying bottled water at 50 cents a gallon for
Oh,
cooking and drinking,
God.
would rather not. So, I wanted to address that. Mark did respond to him and says, so Mark's response is, I'll just read that.
This is from a resident on
Yeah, this
Mountain
is-
Laurel.
Yeah, resident on Mountain Laurel. And Mark replied and copied me, we have 3 wells at Grove Pond, and only one of these is above the EPA health advisory level. This is not a regulated contaminant, which is an important thing to keep in mind here, is that this is something that we're just learning more about, and there is no, it's not like the arsenic coming out of Shepley's, where there is an absolute health, it is a problem to your health if it goes above a certain, this isn't really like that. There's, the EPA and the DEP are both working towards establishing levels, and they have some, levels that are advisory levels at this point. That doesn't mean that there's a direct health hazard. So, let me continue with Max. Only one of these 3 wells at Grove Pond is above the EPA health advisory level. This is not a regulated contaminant, but the EPA, DEP have begun monitoring water supplies that are located in vulnerable areas. And then he puts in parentheses, airports, fire training, that's some of the sources. I've attached the EPA fact sheet, which I think we do have a link to. I'll give you that,
Okay.
with information regarding these chemical compounds. So then he goes on to say, what are we doing? We have been sampling the wells quarterly, and we blend the water from the 3 wells so that the water leaving the treatment plant is below the advisory level. We also have another well field in town. We do have, there's 1 well at Spec Pond. So the water in the distribution piping is further diluted. Number 2, we are working with Mass DEP, EPA, and the Army Corps to better define the source of the contamination. 3, they're beginning an engineering study to determine the treatment options and costs. That's something we talked about at the meeting here. Is there something we can do with filtration or some treatment? 4, they're going to begin sampling the 2 water tanks in the distribution system to determine the contaminant level with the blending of all sources. 5, we are designing an interconnection with Devon's on Barnum Road to use as an emergency source of water. And last but not least, they have included $5 million in the fiscal 2019 capital budget as a placeholder for treatment at the Grove Pond. So, and he goes on to say, Ayer DPW is taking this issue seriously and continues to provide water that is safe to drink. So, just wanted to go on record with saying that as the Board of Health, we agree with that. The air water is safe to drink. There's no reason to buy bottled water at this point that I'm aware of. And DEP and EPA are not saying to do that either. The water that comes out of your faucet at home is below the EPA, DEP advisory limit, and that's because of the blending. And as we had said last week, they really can't close the well that has the highest readings because the 3 wells are relatively close together and all in a row. And I specifically asked that question of Mark at this public information meeting, and he said it makes sense to me. If we close that first well, all it's really going to do is take a well offline, but then the readings are going to go up at the next well in line. So they really have to figure out what's the source of it.
And one of Shirley's wells has a high level too.
Yes, there is one other well that has
Shirley.
has had high readings. So, but keep in mind that nobody in this town gets water directly from a single well.
Correct.
It's all blended, and that blending dilutes the levels so that the final water product you get, and that's part of this sampling the water at the tanks, because that's the final everything blended together. That's what then goes into your tap. So we haven't received any inquiries, have we? And this is just one.
No, I haven't.
I am going to contact Mac though and say, because this did concern me that somebody felt that they needed to buy bottled water.
Well,
so I'm
but-
just going to shoot Mark an email.
And I
ask
think
him
that's
to
a good
kinda
thing
keep us
to
in the
do,
loop.
but again, I think this is a absolutely perfect example of someone hearing one thing and probably has told half his Facebook friends that, oh
Yeah,
my God,
okay.
we've got to go out and buy bottled water. The water at Grove Pond is contaminated, so we can't cook or drink any of this, and this is going to be
Yeah.
an expensive thing. And
Yeah.
that's a perfect example.
I know.
I'm glad that Mark responded like that.
Yes.
And he explained again about the blended.
Yeah.
Now, on the 21st, we have the capital plan meeting, part 1, as
Yeah.
we call it,
Yeah.
with
yeah.
the DPW. So
Yeah.
we'll be starting to review that.
Yeah.
And I don't want anybody to think that we are absolutely going to put this $5 million
Right.
thing in.
Right.
It's sort of listed there,
Yeah.
but that's a
Yeah.
huge cost.
It is.
And
Yeah,
we
absolutely.
try, because I also sit on the Water and Sewer Rate Committee, and
Yeah.
that's one of the things that we look at anything that's related to water and sewer
Yeah.
before we vote on what the
Yeah.
rates are gonna be
Yeah.
this year. And we've had kind of okay, we've looked at the 3-year plan and we've been doing it slowly.
Yeah.
And there's always people that come and think the rates are too high.
Oh yeah.
So, and I understand that. And,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
have, in some instances, we get older, we live on a fixed income.
Yeah.
But I just don't want people to think "Whew, it's solved. They're putting these $5 million project in at Grove Pond that's going to solve everything.
That's an
So,
excellent point. It's just a placeholder. There is no
Exactly.
project. There is no
We
plan.
need a lot more information.
We don't even know if there is an effective
Exactly.
treatment. So, yeah, I think he's just offering that. And so I'm glad he put that last on the list, actually, that there's
Yes.
a placeholder in the budget, but we don't know if we're going to need it, if it will ever come to pass. So that's that. But if what I wanted to mention to Mark, and I want to tell you as well, Jane, well, everyone really, if you're hearing things or if people are asking you questions, or I'm like the last person in the world that's not on Facebook, so I don't see what's going on on Facebook. But if you start to pick up that there is stuff going on,
Yes.
my next step is going to be to ask Mark if he would join us in a public information forum to talk about this for residents, just to once again explain it, because the meeting that we had here was more to update the town officials and departments. It was during the day. Not everybody really could attend it, but if we need to. So if anyone is out there listening at home, if you would like to have such a session, call Board of Health, email someone on Board of Health or DPW and let us know, and I would be more than happy to set that up. Because I also don't want people either buying bottled water unnecessarily or just not really knowing what all the facts are. So.
And especially since this is something that the EPA and the DEP are just starting to look at too. So
yeah.
I think before we get too far down the road, we've got to have a lot more information from them. And then if it gets to the point that maybe we would need to have a meeting between the selectmen, the Board of Health, with the DPW superintendent here. I think I'd rather have it like that, a one agenda, whether maybe the selectmen can come to our meeting and do it that way, as opposed to having it stuck on a selectmen's meeting. And sometimes you think those meetings are going to be short,
Right.
and it gets
bogged
too
down.
so I think that would be a good idea. But meantime,
But let's kind of just keep a, keep
Oh,
an ear out, and if
yes.
we're not really getting a lot of questions or concern, then, I would just kind of let it flow, because I think DPW is doing absolutely the right thing. DPW, DEP is involved in it.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't see it as a crisis or even
No,
a problem.
no.
But if people would like more information, we can, spread the word.
Yeah.
And again, because people didn't understand about the blending of the water too in New Wells, so
Yeah.
that's important to
there's
have that
also-
get out.
The other thing, though, that to keep in mind is that because this is a kind of new contaminant,
Exactly.
I don't want to alarm anyone. So this is not what I'm saying I think is true. But the possibility exists that we could be where smoking was in the 50s, where 9 out of 10 doctors recommend whatever cigarette they recommended. It could turn out that this stuff is dangerous in way lower levels than what we've got in our water. We don't really know that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. There's a lot of information we
Right,
need.
right, and it's emerging. The
Yes.
knowledge of this stuff is still emerging. And I will say the limit for this, the acceptable limit, is really, really low.
Mhm.
But,
It's being worked on though.
it is. It's
So
being
that's
worked
the
on,
important
and,
thing.
I'm still drinking water out of my tap, so
Mm-hmm.
I'm not buying bottled water. All right, May.
Okay, you were talking
sorry.
about end of the year wrap up before we get
Yeah.
into
Yeah.
I was thinking in terms of in January we start thinking about our town report.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And it's funny
That's
because a
good.
lot of people get confused. This is the only thing that's calendar year, if you think
Right.
about it, because
Yeah.
we do everything else on a fiscal year. But we
It's
get
true.
all the information generally in January and February.
Yeah.
In the past, they've tried to have the town reports there on voting day,
Yeah.
election day. I think last year it pretty much was town meeting. by the
Yes.
time-
Yeah. Yeah. I think
Yeah.
so. Yeah.
But again, so we have to look at what we've done special from January 1st
Yeah.
to December 31st of this year. So, and you can lose track because you think sometimes, oh, we did that last year. And then
Oh,
you
I
say,
know. Yeah.
oh, no, that was the year before.
Right.
But I think we had, from January, we've had some of the properties
Yep.
and of course the ongoing Nasoya. So I think I'd like to see us do a little more of this is what we've done this year,
Okay.
and maybe put in there something to do with what you need a permit from the Board of Health for,
That would be a good place to put it. Yep.
rather than, oh, check our website. No, let's just put it right here where they can look and see, all right, you're gonna sell tobacco, you need a permit. You're going to do something in our zone 2. We have
Yeah.
regulations for that. We
Yeah.
protect the drinking water. You contact us, you need a
Mhm.
permit for that. Keeping of animals, yes, you need a
Yeah.
permit. So I
Yeah.
think that
Yeah.
would be a good idea to have that all in there. And-
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. I think
So-
that is a good idea.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. So, doesn't mean that we can't bring up anything new. Next meeting is only January 8th.
Yeah.
So
I've got something to add.
Yes.
In this discussion, just because, today as I was coming in, my path crossed with Charlie.
Mhm.
And he said, expect a call from Mark Seda.
Well, we've been expecting this.
Yeah.
So I got up there, I haven't gotten any communications from him yet, but
Okay.
I don't know, and I didn't have a chance to ask Heather if something happened, with the planning board, but I'll find out.
Okay.
But that may be rekindling. We may get.
No,
him back
I think
again.
I think that's very easy. The planning board had already given them the permit.
Right.
It was the
The building
the
inspector.
building inspector had not given him the okay on something. He went to the zoning board and
Yeah.
tried to get a variance
Right.
from what the building inspector said. They didn't give it, and as soon as that happened, I said, well, he'll correct whatever it is,
Yeah.
and he'll come back with a new plan. So
Yeah.
I'm sure he will.
So
Yeah.
we're at the start, again, we're the first board that.
Well, it kind of gets, this is the transmission form for things in general. I mean, this one is a ZBA form, but, things go around to all these
Well,
different
from what
departments.
I understand from that meeting, I mean, the planning board had done theirs.
Yeah.
He had been with us, and he had met after 3, and
Mm-hmm.
that's something too that'll be in our town report. We had
Yeah.
3 nights of a public hearing on that.
Yeah, we did.
So if the
Yeah, we
only thing was what the building commissioner said,
Yeah.
then I'm sure that's what he's done with the new plan. He's corrected that. So if that was the only person that had something
Yeah.
to say,
Yeah.
then he'll come in, he'll correct that.
Yeah.
But we will, we'll have to go through the process again.
Yeah, and
I
that's
think.
really all we can do is.
Yeah.
And we have all that, the copies of the things from Ross and what,
Yeah.
all the
Yeah,
rain,
yeah. We've got a
we
pretty-
have
Oh, yeah.
tons and
That
tons
must
of
be a pretty thick
material.
file up there now.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
I actually ordered fatter file folders, just so,
Really?
because I have a couple that are just.
Yeah,
too
that are
good.
pretty.
But-
Valuable, all of that.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
were,
yeah,
we
yeah.
were
Yeah.
educated on that.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
getting heavy. I think I've actually got 2 large files.
Yeah, I would believe it.
Oh,
Because those
yeah.
plans take up,
Yeah,
a lot of room.
a
too.
lot of stuff.
Well, that's okay. I mean, we're ready and available. We always are.
But
So-
I think it will be
Files.
fast, because if he hasn't changed anything that we already approved,
Right.
and it was only, I mean, I'm not saying we don't look through it,
Oh,
don't
yeah,
get
no,
me
no,
wrong.
I know.
But I think it would be fairly quick if the one problem was something that the building commissioner said.
Yes.
So he's obviously going to correct that, and he'll come back with a whole new set, but I shouldn't think that it would be, I mean, we'll go through the process again,
Yeah.
but it would be a one night, and he isn't gonna be digging up in the
Well,
next
that's true,
couple
yeah,
of
I
months
don't
think
anyway,
it'll
but
be
we
ready
still
for-
have the same time frame.
Well,
to
and
have
he
to
may
go
want to
through.
get started on it soon, because then it can work its way through the process
Yeah.
and
And get to
be
the
ready
spring,
when,
yeah.
when building season starts up again, so. We will be ready. We're not going anywhere. Okay. So let's look at what we got for mail. Maybe some of it is going to be easy, I don't know. Let's see. Opioid prevention.
That's tomorrow, and I just got it today.
Oh, you
So,
just got it?
I just got it.
This is going to be at Monty Tech, and it is tomorrow night, 5:30 to 7:30. It is called Opioid Prevention and Awareness Night, and this is being put on by the Massachusetts Opioid Abuse Prevention Collaborative, the City of Fitchburg, and LPK.
Look,
Ooh,
I
Yeah.
can't remember they've been around a long time, what they see,
Okay.
but they do a lot of good work.
Okay. And they're going to have, looks like 2 topics. One is going to be harm reduction training. And the other one, which sounds very interesting, is Narcan training and distribution at the end. So I don't know if there will be Narcan available, if they're going to be up, or, but at least talk about how to properly administer it. So
Because there is a trick to it, I didn't realize that.
it's a nasal spray.
It is a nasal
right?
spray, I went to
Okay.
one training, and it's almost like, well, you have to do the same thing when you're trained on the EpiPens, you know?
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like
exactly
clicking
how-
all that,
yeah.
It's that similar thing, and pulling it off, turning it
Yeah.
down.
All right, well, sorry for the very short notice, but it is tomorrow night, 5:30 to 7:30, and it's Montechusett Regional Vocational Technical School in Fitchburg, AKA Monty Tech.
I think I read somewhere in the paper a few weeks back that the governor, I think, has filed some type of legislation with regards to training people. You know how to have standards, because what one person trains and then turns around and trains somebody else, how do you know what's being taken? So I know he's filed some kind of legislation.
For the NACAN?
No, for people that are working with someone that's had dependency and
okay,
trying to work with
like
them.
counseling.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, but to have standards,
Yeah.
and I
That
think
does sound
that's a smart
They
thing.
have to
So,
have license.
Right, because you
know,
can't have anybody setting up shop.
Right.
exactly.
Yeah.
So,
Although the recovery coach training that is going on up at Terra Vista through two agencies, and one of the trainers, Kate Duffy, who was at ours, that's a 2-day training for anybody. And the people that train are licensed therapists, and they train them, you know, what to look for, where to go, how to get hold of different. That's anybody can go to that, and it's 2 days.
Yeah.
It's like it's not cheap. It's like $400 and something.
Yeah.
But then you're in that network. You can be called
Yeah.
upon,
Right.
you know,
Yeah, exactly.
in a pinch.
Yeah. All right. What do we have here? Mass DEP waistband the third party inspection report. So this is JP Ruthier recycling.
Yeah, I got two things from them, and I highlighted them because at first I thought, gee, did we get duplicate copies? And I, compared them. They came in on separate days.
PTA stuff for
It has to do with
Tire shredding?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It has to do with solid waste. So
okay.
one has to do with compliance with the waste ban. So certain things you can't put into, like the regular waste stream.
Right.
So clean report on that one. And then the other one is operation and maintenance of their facility. And that one is also deviations none, facility is in good condition, orderly, recommendations for corrective action none. So this is a clean report from a third-party inspector for both sections of the CMR.
that's generally what it is
Yeah.
from the.
With respect to
Yeah.
the waste ban and operation and maintenance of the facility. So, all right, that we more or less understand. This, I think, might tie in with this. So, okay. So this is for, apparently there's a public hearing, December 20th. Applicant, is seeking a special permit pursuant to Ayer zoning bylaw 4.4.5.3 to allow for warehousing and interior storage in the general business district. So this is Calco LLC on 217 West Main Street. And this is ZBA, okay, so their stuff is all set here.
So what is he storing?
It just says interior warehouse, for warehousing and interior storage.
That's where he has the storage containers on West Main Street.
217?
It is 217,
Across
yeah.
from the shopping center?
Huh?
Devon Shopping Center?
Yeah, it's right across the street where he has all the storage.
I get.
So I guess I'm a little confused as to what extra he's doing.
Well, what I'm a little confused about is these two almost appear to be related. So Emily Realty. Alright. Let me see if I can figure out if these two are.
What does he need a zoning variance from? I don't understand. What exactly is he doing up there that he needs a variance from?
What's going on?
Well, no, I mean, he's got
I know.
storage
Right,
already,
right.
so what else is he proposing up there?
Proposed commercial development consisting of 5 buildings. Each building will be used for individual storage units. One of the buildings will have office space. So it's new building.
Okay, you know, he did talk about when they were putting those containers up there, and remember we had a pump station up there, we needed an easement from him, West Main Street Pump
Yeah.
Station. And at that time, as you go down a little further, he owns more land there, and he had
Yeah.
at one time talked about putting an office down there. So, but I don't know where he's gonna put 5 buildings?
5 buildings.
If he's talking about behind where the container units are now, then there's that motorcycle place.
No, you gotta go up the street,
I-
you're
it's
coming
on the
down
other-
this way.
And I think it's also on the other side of the street, because the existing storage is right before
The
Dan's
animals,
place.
yeah.
This looks to me, if you're heading, so West Main Street, you're heading towards.
You're heading towards Devon's and there's some storage
Towards
units.
Devon's.
Right,
This is on the
yeah.
opposite side of the street
Right.
then.
But you could, there's space behind where that motorcycle shop is that links, there's space behind there that comes around where the old, that restaurant was.
Yeah, but I thought that that's where all the dirt is piled
Right,
and all.
right.
But I was told that consulting place owned all that. And I don't think that would be 217, because the numbers go up. Where the contaminant was at 211.
You can kind of see it. It looks like it's past 2, it must be just past 211.
211 is where the motorcycle shop
Right,
is.
Yeah.
that was the container
Yeah.
where it was contaminated.
Yeah. So here's where the existing storage is on this side of West Main. This is on the other side of West Main.
You can't, wait a minute, that doesn't make sense. If 217 has got to be on the same side as 211, because the Devon's Plaza is 210.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
So I'm saying the existing storage is on the even side of the road.
no, it isn't.
Yeah, it is. It's just before Dan's place.
You're talking about 2 different containers then now.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
talking about all the ones he has
On the other.
on the right side.
Okay.
And that would be 217, because 211 is where the motorcycle shop is.
Okay. Well, that
And,
looks like
and
that's
he
what this
did,
is.
so he did talk of, like I said, one time,
Yeah.
because he owns that land
Yeah,
going
yeah.
up there, on the right-hand side. So he must be going to, again, put an office in there that he had talked about before.
Yep. This is.
And 5 buildings could just mean an office and 4
Right.
more storage containers.
Well, here it is.
Just tell me what it says there.
Okay.
But that's the side, that is
It is
270.
the side, but if, on that side, there's still another vacant lot after his storage units. It's showing here on the ground level where that gas station used to be. There's a
So
vacant
this
lot
is
with
what-
the mounds of dirt on it.
This is what
No,
it's gonna look
no,
like.
no, no.
Those are the buildings. And Bridget, by the way, has approved this. She just noted facility must not be used to store toxic hazardous materials as defined in Aquifer Protection District health regulations.
That's the only available space down there.
But that's what I'm talking
Yeah.
about.
Yeah.
It's on the right-hand side.
Yes.
217 would be beyond what he has now. Where the motorcycle shop is 211.
That's here. Then there's the storage.
Then he's got all his storage units, and this is the space that he owns beyond that, where he said at one time, we're thinking about putting an office down there. Yeah,
Okay.
So
yeah.
what I'm confused about is this in the aquifer?
No, why is it coming over here?
Because what,
We get trans.
We know that all goes, that should.
no, what I
Yes,
don't, what I'm not really getting is, it's gotta be in the aquifer district, because Bridget's approval notes that the facility must not be used to store toxic or hazardous materials, as defined in Aquifer Protection District health regulations.
So this wasn't in place when they had that dry cleaner there and all that stuff was leaking all over the place? If it's in the
The
aquifer
aquifer?
district, is
No.
that, no?
No, because that dry cleaner was there, my God, remember?
Years.
And the gas station?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
that's why we had all that stuff cleaned up too.
Yeah, so that would have been one of
Yeah.
those like pre-existing
And remember, we
kinds of things. So.
did a lot of things years ago that we didn't know.
Yeah. that would-
We've got new standards and everything. So Bridget approved it.
Yeah,
and-
Bridget approved it with the note, must not be used to store.
I guess I still don't
toxic hazardous
understand why they need to go to the zoning board, but
I don't know the zoning bylaw,
Yeah.
4.5.3, but apparently they seem to need a special permit because the ZBA has granted them a hearing, and it says that they need to have a special permit, so I don't know if it's just because of the use.
I don't know.
I don't
I mean, it
know.
doesn't make
Maybe it's
sense.
a non-conforming use of.
It doesn't make sense. He's got all those other storage right before it, so, oh well.
I don't know.
Doesn't
Yeah,
concern
I don't
us.
know. So,
Well, if it's abutting the aquifer district, or it's in the aquifer district, doesn't he have to come to the Board of Health for a special permit?
No, he never.
only if he wants to do something that's, no,
He didn't have to come to us for all those
Only if it's. stored-
containers that he put
Yeah,
in.
those are
But
kind
you
of
know,
benign,
we
right?
are very concerned about permeability and usage
Oh,
and all
let me
that
see,
stuff.
where is this one doesn't delineate. Is the map, that big map
I
still
don't
back
know.
there?
I think,
Well, he didn't have to come
No.
to us for the other one, so
No,
the only
what's
thing
that?
different on this
this is just, you know,
is,
paper, pen.
the only thing different on this is he's having a small office. Other than that, it's just more storage buildings, so I'm not going to concern myself with it. What
Well,
else?
I do want to know if she's saying that it is within the aquifer, then he may need.
Well, that would be very strange that he needs it for that. We didn't do
For
anything,
the other?
we didn't have anything with the motorcycle place, and we,
Well,
That was a pre-existing.
yeah,
one,
motorcycle
right?
place wasn't new construction.
no, but it's a new business in there, and it,
Report. Yeah, but our regulation doesn't talk about a different business. It all talks about impervious surface
yeah,
and,
I understand
what are
that,
the
I
permitted
understand
uses.
that.
I'm just gonna ask, Bridget, I'm just gonna send her an email.
Yeah,
because-
well, before we
Yeah.
get worried about it.
Yeah, it's about recharging the aquifer and making sure that You
Well-
must got adequate
So,
recharge.
So is, the only difference then is the fact that there's an office. Other than that, the other the 4 buildings are more storage. Is that correct? On that?
it looks as though there's 5 buildings total, and one of them is going to include an office.
Correct.
But it also looks like it's going to have storage in the back.
So
So the
what-
rest of it are just all storage, but there's one with an office.
Yeah, that's what I just said.
Yeah,
Okay.
so let me find out,
Yeah, before we'll have more,
yeah,
no more.
is there. Their public hearing is December 20th.
That's going before
For ZBA.
ZBA.
Okay.
Okay, so that's this. Then I have another one, and this is what confused me. I didn't know if these were related. MB Realty has asked for, this is also ZBA, applicant is seeking a special permit pursuant to air zoning bylaw 44410 to allow for commercial packing area in light industrial district for trucks and miscellaneous storage. And Bridget has noted this as a disapprove and says, please be more specific about what miscellaneous storage is.
And where would this be taking place?
This is on, 0, unless, I don't think we're missing a digit, 0 Groton Harvard Road?
Yeah.
0 Groton Harvard
Mhm.
Road.
We had that before. There was something there that,
0 Groton
Yeah.
Harvard Road. That sounds familiar.
0 Groton
Mhm.
Harvard.
Yeah.
Is that up at the split where it goes up to the hospital and then it's, I have this name of the street that goes up, is it Washington Street?
we had this before because Bridget refused it before. That's why this is a comeback. Because I remember her saying, no, you can't do that. As soon as you said trucks and you
Well, is that, what is the date on that? What is the date of the hearing? Maybe it's a,
December 20th.
of both? Oh, okay.
But there's no,
So they want to
it
put,
doesn't look like.
they want to
ZBA
put trucks.
0 Groton Harvard Road.
Realty. Oh, hang on. This may be the rest of it here in this file. Zoning Board of Appeals, give a special permit. Yep, 0 Groton Harvard Road.
Here's the land for sale, 62.5. No, it says 0 Groton Harvard Road.
Yeah, they have
Rail side land, approximately 0.24 acres, corner of Central Street.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Land runs between 85 and 87 Central Street, Central Ave, and the rail. Touch down.
Is that right there by where the blinking light is?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's good.
Corner of Central Ave and Groton Harvard Road. Land runs between 85 and 87 Central Ave and the railway. Is that the garage across from the gym?
Sounds like it.
There's some, that's that little tiny, because there's that
Zero
garage,
down
and
there.
then there's Bennett's house, and then
Yeah.
there's the water, and then
Yeah.
there's the moving and storage.
But this came before us, and Bridget turned it. I
That
know
was
she
on-
said,
That was on Willow Road, I think.
no, 0 Harvard Groton Harvard Road came
I do
before us to get
recall
before.
her very recently
It's very-
disapproving one in Willow.
Yeah, that I know, but
Yeah.
Zero Groton
It's just
Harvard.
very funny the way that it's written here, that it's 0,
And they want to do,
and it says land runs between 85 and 87 Central
but
Ave.
what do they want to do there?
They want commercial packing area in the light industrial district for trucks and miscellaneous storage.
Oh, that's very vague.
So maybe it's
Well, that's-
adding onto that garage.
I don't know, that's Bridget's disapprovals saying, be more specific about what miscellaneous is.
Awful close to the railroad tracks.
And does that abut the aquifer there?
There's water there.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, because that might be, I don't know I haven't memorized that map, but it seems to me that
Yeah,
that area.
There's that
too.
stream that comes under
That's
the railroad
correct.
tracks and goes by
That's
the-
correct. I should think conservation would be all over
Yeah.
that too.
Okay, street view.
And this is MD Realty.
Now, when I put in 85 to 87, I get Coke's house.
I know, that's why I'm saying you,
So it's not on the other side. I'm wondering if with Coke, his dad had that shop there with the heavy equipment.
So low.
well,
Because
I don't see why we're getting all in a tizzy
that's
tonight.
on the pond.
Yeah, I know it is. I know it is.
The only reason that I want to get this straight with Bridget
Yes.
is because they have their ZBA public hearing on December 20th.
Correct.
So if there's an aquifer element involved here,
It
I
is.
don't want to send these people off with their ZBA permit, thinking that
Correct.
that's all they have to do.
Yeah.
So this one doesn't bother me as much because Bridget has it as a disapprove, be more specific about what miscellaneous is. The other one, though, has our approval.
Well,
So let me find
let's
out. what the
get
deal
more
is there.
information, and we're not going to do anything tonight because we need the rest of the information.
All right, I'll contact.
And
you
he's
about
been
those.
storing stuff on that site. Remember, we wondered over how come people haven't gone after him for that mess in his backyard, because he's right there on the water.
That is Ricky's, Coke's.
Yeah, 88.
Yeah,
His dad always had that big garage where he had the big bulldozers. And
Yeah, I know.
yeah, but it's
I know.
it's a mess in the back. He's had piled up stuff there since the father died.
I haven't
A
seen him
mess.
very back. I see him in the front in the garage. I know there's heavy equipment.
Well, I guess if it's in the back, we should be happy that it's in the back. We still have,
Yeah, but that goes right down,
we
you're
still
right
have
down in
Sandy
the
Pond
water.
right across from Sandy Pond, that mess. It's on public display. Welcome to Sandy Pond. And our junkyard across the street.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'll ask her
Yeah.
about the deal there. Yeah. I know, and I still can't figure out why that's 0, because isn't it Groton Harvard all the way up to East Main?
I thought it
Yes.
So how does that 0? Anyway. All right, National Grid has sent us 45-day yearly operational plan, public notice, review and comment. This is their yearly operational plan for what they intend to do in 2018. I believe this goes along with it. So it's the areas that they intend to treat with herbicides and other vegetation management equipment or materials. So they have who's going to do it, tree service, tree experts, NBAI, pesticide division.
That's
That's
kind of
the
a
usual.
performer thing
Yeah.
that they send.
Yep, it's the usual. All right, so let's get this covered. That's not
Floating around. I thought I had that all put together.
video. Well, I think I started getting the clipped things, clipped to other things.
I
here,
see.
so.
Yeah.
All right.
Things were kind of.
So this is all going back in the mail. And I will ask Bridget if we need to do anything with the others. All right. Yeah. I think there is a bill somewhere here, right?
I thought I put it on top.
Yeah, I thought you did too, but I probably, oh, here it is, I left it here. So, this is $117, WPKC radio invoice, $117 for 2 30-second spots. Sounds right?
Yeah.
So these are just things to say.
Anything
I'll
else?
just do these right after that.
Okay.
Those are just you.
That's what I've been doing instead of the minutes.
Yeah, I can see that.
That's just been.
It gets like that at the end of the year.
Yeah,
All those things
yeah,
coming to you.
exactly. All right, do you care to hear the list of tobacco permits?
I
and
really
their sign-up?
No, I mean truly.
Yeah,
Truly, I don't.
And I'm not thrilled to read them. because
What I
they're
would
usual.
like for you, for our meeting in January, is could we have a list of people who perhaps didn't renew any permits?
Yep.
Whether they be food or tobacco or whatever.
Yes, we can do that.
You know, that's the way you find out who's opened a new place and who it hasn't, and so that I'd like that list. And if I could say one more thing before we
go right
leave,
ahead.
I
Just kind of-
want to say that I wish that it wasn't so, but people have an opportunity to retire. The Lagos family have been in business in Ayer for 103 years.
Wow.
And Nick is closing. He's going to enjoy his
No kidding.
retirement. I wish him long life and happiness. He's been the treasurer of the Air Business Alliance
Wow.
for a number of years. So kudos to you, Nick, for everything you've done
Yeah.
for the town in all these years. And welcome our new Italian bakery, whom I heard they're doing great business. One of the employees here at Town Hall said they sent a huge platter over to everyone the other day. They were here for the tree lighting ceremony.
Yeah.
They sent over 2 big boxes.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they're down next to Parthenon.
Yep.
And I guess as soon as he has a chance to breathe, he's going to get, he said he'll get his Italian name up there. They're originally from the North End. They live in Groton now.
Oh,
There is a
really?
kitchen in there, and she bakes things fresh every day.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
So,
I didn't realize they were baking
oh
fresh
yes,
daily.
yes, yes. So, welcome to Air.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
yeah.
I'm
Now let's get that new sushi restaurant. What is going on?
Well, that's why I say when we get the list of what's
Yeah.
coming, what's going, etc., and
Yeah.
anything else, you'll have that. So,
Okay. So if you could take a note of that, Jane, for the next meeting, just who is
Yeah.
still outstanding for tobacco and,
Oh, I will.
anything.
Well, I
Anything on the
don't,
list.
I don't keep the food permits.
right, that's the
I
common
mean, I
good stuff.
file them, but I don't track them.
Well, I think we could get an update from Bridget. Has anybody given up anything, because we know they send out all in October. They do that, and by now everybody should have returned it. So if people haven't, we can get that from
Yeah, you
her.
can ask her.
Yeah.
Because all the common vic licenses go out from her office,
So,
she should be able to tell you. Okay, so I have, once we adjourn, I am going to run my pen dry, signing 7 tobacco permits, which I have to say, I say this every year, it remains a mystery to me why the Board of Health issues permits to
Yeah, are they supposed to be?
tobacco! It's like
well, yeah.
the
but
unhealthiest product in the world.
I know, but we're making sure nobody under the age.
but nobody in our town has violated any of the rules. I think that's what it's important too.
No, and you absolutely have a right in this country to smoke yourself into your grave. So I will sign those as soon as we're adjourned. They're all just my signature. So action items to January 8th.
Well, I think we did it already.
Yeah, I've got the list of things here that you'd like to see, which I think is good. I will check with Bridget about these 2 things and the soya. I'll have a little something, we can start working on town report, our annual report. And we'll have a couple minutes to review.
Yes.
And that,
Yeah. And I'll
So-
talk to Mike Wetzel as
yeah.
well.
So I think that's it. So,
I think that is it.
so I would like to make a motion to adjourn and everyone have a great Christmas and New Year's.
Thank you.
Because I'm not politically correct, it is Christmas to me.
It is Christmas, you're
It's
right.
not the
I
holiday.
second that.
Okay.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.